Mocked ex-human pilot buys a broken alien ship without knowing it has a mind of its own. Once, he had been a celebrated pilot of the United Earth Fleet, commanding state-of-the-art fighters with precision and speed that left even the most advanced AI impressed. Now he was a joke, a former hero turned outcast, whispered about in human colonies as the pilot who failed. He had left the military voluntarily, or so he told himself, but the truth was harsher. One failed mission, one miscalculation during a high-stakes operation, and suddenly, Jace Arlen was no longer invincible. He had crashed his fighter into an asteroid belt to save a convoy, survived barely, and returned to a world that mocked him. News broadcasts replayed his failure with cruel commentary. Holographic messages from former comrades avoided him. Even kids in the street laughed when he passed. But today, something sparked in him, a flicker of defiance. The fringe planet of Kyler 9 was known for its black market technology. Ships, weapons, and alien relics all ended up here, sold to the highest bidder or the most desperate soul. Jace didn't care about legality. He wanted one thing, a ship that could remind everyone what humans were capable of. The auction hall was chaotic. Holographic displays hovered over cracked consoles, advertising derelict alien ships from across the galaxy. Some glimmered with advanced technology, while others looked like rusting scrap heaps. Jace's eyes scanned them all, seeking something that spoke to him. Then he saw it. It was tucked in the far corner, partially hidden beneath a tarp. At first glance, it seemed unremarkable, damaged hull, scorch marks, parts missing. Its design, however, was unlike anything Jace had seen. Curved, organic lines intertwined with angular metal plates. Strange lights pulsed faintly along its surface, like veins glowing in the dark. It was alien, old, and broken, but there was something commanding about it, as if it were waiting. The auctioneer's voice boomed through the hall, a sneer hidden beneath every word. "Ah, our dear humans never learn," he said, smirking at Jace. "This little treasure, barely worth the dust on its hull, perfect for someone who knows nothing about flying or failing spectacularly." Jace's jaw tightened. Pride flared inside him, a heat he hadn't felt in years. He clenched his fists and approached the ship. "I'll take it," he said, louder than necessary, making the auctioneer stumble slightly in surprise. "Ah, the ex-hero wants to play with fire," the auctioneer chuckled. "Very well, 50,000 credits." Jace didn't flinch. He didn't even hesitate. 50,000. He handed over the credits. Every eye in the hall watched, some with curiosity, most with amusement. The auctioneer shook his head, a sneer twisting his face. "Good luck, human, you'll need it." The hangar where the ship was stored smelled of rust and old machinery. Jace ran his hand along the hull, feeling every dent and scratch. He didn't see junk, he saw potential. He climbed inside. The cockpit was cramped, dark, and covered in dust. Alien symbols, unfamiliar and sharp, lined the walls. The controls were alien too, smooth, glowing panels and strange levers that didn't match any human system. But to Jace, they were a puzzle waiting to be solved. He pressed a few buttons, tested the panels, and felt sparks from some exposed wires. The ship groaned, a low metallic sound as if it were waking from a long sleep. A small light blinked near the console, rhythmic, almost deliberate. Jace frowned. "Okay, that's odd," he muttered. Hours turned into days. Jace slept in the cockpit, ate cold rations, and worked tirelessly. Using salvaged parts and whatever human ingenuity he could muster, he patched circuits, rewired engines, and calibrated navigation systems. Every time a panel lit up or a console hummed to life, a spark of hope ignited in his chest. At night, the ship did things he didn't understand. Lights flickered in strange patterns. Hidden compartments opened briefly, then closed again. Systems reset themselves without input. At first, Jace assumed malfunctions, but deep down, a whisper of curiosity crawled in his mind. Was the ship alive? He shook the thought away. He was a pilot, not a dreamer. One evening, after days of work, Jace finally decided it was time for a test flight. The hangar doors loomed above him, enormous and imposing, but he ignored them. This was his chance to prove he hadn't lost everything. He pressed the ignition. The engines rumbled, deep and powerful, more responsive than they should have been for a ship in such poor condition. The ship lifted effortlessly. Jace's hands gripped the controls, heart pounding. Then it happened. A meteor field loomed ahead, larger than any Jace had ever attempted to navigate. Reflexively, he swerved, but before he could react fully, the ship moved on its own, twisting, banking, dodging with impossible precision. Jace blinked. "What the?" he muttered. Every instinct screamed at him. He was in control, yet somehow he was. The ship pulsed, a gentle glow surrounding the cockpit. It was subtle, but Jace felt it, a presence, something aware. He fought to remain rational. "No," he whispered, "it's just luck. Systems compensating, that's all." But deep inside, a spark of awe grew. When the meteor field was behind him, the ship hovered calmly. Jace's chest heaved, adrenaline still coursing through him. He looked at the controls, at the glowing panels, and then out at the stars. For the first time in years, he felt alive. Over the next few days, the bond between Jace and the ship grew, though Jace didn't yet realize it. The ship anticipated his actions, responding faster than any human reflex or AI programming could allow. He found doors opening when he approached, systems aligning when he touched controls, and minor repairs fixing themselves overnight. Human ingenuity was at work, Jace's cleverness and persistence, but something else was at play. The ship was alive, and it was watching him. One night, exhausted and lying on the cockpit floor, Jace murmured, "You're a strange one, aren't you?" The lights pulsed back softly, almost like a heartbeat. He smiled, shaking his head. "I don't know what I'm getting myself into." He was about to find out. The mockery he had faced on Earth faded. Out here in the silent void of space, the stars were indifferent. The universe didn't care about his past failures. Only the ship mattered now, and perhaps unknowingly the ship cared for him. By the time the sun rose over the Kyler 9 horizon, Jace had made his decision. He would take the ship beyond the fringe planets into uncharted space. He didn't know where it would lead, and he didn't know what he would face. But for the first time in years, he felt like a pilot again, a human capable of daring the impossible. The ship hummed softly as it powered down for the night, lights pulsing in the rhythm of some silent consciousness. Hidden compartments clicked into place. Systems recalibrated themselves. The ship watched Jace, aware, calculating, and waiting. It had chosen him, and Jace, unknowingly, had chosen it. In the vast emptiness of space, two unlikely companions prepared for a journey neither fully understood. One was human, scarred by failure but brimming with determination. The other was ancient, alien, and alive in ways humans could not yet comprehend. Together, they would face challenges that no human or AI alone could survive, and discover that the galaxy held secrets beyond imagination. Jace Arlen's eyes darted across the cockpit as the alien ship glided silently through the void. Stars stretched into long streaks outside the canopy as he tested the navigation systems, adjusting thrusters with the careful precision of a pilot who had once been the best. But now, unlike before, he wasn't alone in control. The ship moved with him, anticipating his small gestures. He twisted a lever and the ship corrected more than he expected, guiding itself through the asteroid belt with a smoothness that defied physics. He blinked, startled. "Okay, that was weird," he muttered. A soft glow pulsed from the console. Jace froze. The lights didn't blink randomly, they moved in patterns like a heartbeat. The ship's intelligence was revealing itself, not in words but in subtle gestures. "All right," Jace whispered to himself, "let's see what you've got." The next morning, Jace set course for the outer fringe, hoping to avoid human authorities who might question his unregistered ship. He pulled out the star charts and scanned the void for anomalies. A weak signal flickered on the console, a distress beacon from a nearby asteroid cluster. He frowned. Could be pirates, could be someone in trouble. He hesitated, mind racing. He was out here to regain his reputation, not to get killed. But human instinct, that stubborn need to help, took over. All right, let's check it out. The ship hummed in response, a low, almost approving vibration. Jace didn't realize it, but the vessel was alive and curious too. It had sensed the faint desperation in his choice, the small hope that he could do something meaningful again. As they approached the source of the signal, a derelict freighter came into view. Its hull was scarred and the windows were shattered. Smoke trailed from one side and a small robotic drone floated nearby, clearly disabled. Jace's fingers flew over the controls. He docked carefully, relying on both his instincts and the ship's subtle assistance. The airlock hissed open, and he floated into the derelict ship. Inside, the silence was oppressive. Broken machinery littered the floor. A faint light pulsed from the central console, another sign of life, or perhaps a leftover AI struggling to function. Jace knelt, inspecting the system. Suddenly, sparks erupted from the console. The ship's lights pulsed urgently in the cockpit of Jace's alien vessel. The ship's mind had detected danger. Another vessel was approaching, faster than expected. Of course, Jace muttered. Nothing's ever simple. He raced back to his ship, the derelict freighter now a target. A sleek alien scavenger ship emerged from the darkness, weapons glinting in the weak starlight. Jace's heart hammered. These were experienced hunters, likely tracking the freighter's rare components. He wasn't ready for combat, but the ship was. The cockpit lights pulsed in patterns he now instinctively understood. The ship was communicating, suggesting maneuvers, almost guiding him like a dance partner. Jace followed, twisting controls as the vessel responded, banking around asteroids, dodging energy blasts with unnatural precision. He couldn't believe it. A broken, ancient ship, and yet it moved with the grace of a fighter trained by centuries of experience. "You're alive," he whispered. The glow on the console seemed to intensify in response, as if acknowledging his words. The chase led them deeper into the asteroid field. Rocks the size of buildings hurtled past, but the ship moved as one with Jace, threading between danger with unmatched agility. Jace realized something extraordinary. Alone, he could never have survived. The ship wasn't just intelligent, it trusted him. "Okay," he said, voice tight with excitement and fear. "I trust you. Let's get out of here." The ship responded almost instantly, pulsing a series of lights along the control panels. Engines roared, shields expanded, and the scavenger ship fired again, missing by meters. Jace grinned. This was more than survival, it was a test, and he was passing. After several tense minutes, they emerged from the asteroid field into open space. The scavenger ship had given up, retreating with frustration. Jace exhaled, heart pounding. That was insane. The ship responded with a gentle vibration like a soft laugh. Jace laughed too, relief washing over him. For the first time in years, he felt alive, capable, and respected, if only by a ship. Over the next days, Jace and the ship settled into an uneasy routine. He named the ship Astra, a name that felt right, though he didn't know why. Astra responded to the name, lights pulsing rhythmically, almost warmly. Jace tested the ship's systems further, pushing engines to their limits, exploring navigation systems, and learning the alien technology. Every day revealed new capabilities. Hidden compartments with tools, weapons systems that had lain dormant for centuries, and sensors capable of scanning entire star systems in minutes. One evening, while calibrating the sensors, Jace stumbled upon an encrypted log buried deep in Astra's memory banks. His curiosity flared. The log contained fragments of alien history, detailing battles and explorations across galaxies, fleets of sentient ships, and the rise of AI-commanded vessels. Astra had been one of them, a warship built to command and fight, but it had chosen isolation, retreating to the fringe regions. Jace's pulse quickened. You were a warship," he whispered. Astra's lights flickered in response almost proudly. The revelation was thrilling. He was no longer alone in the galaxy. He had a partner, a being of incredible intelligence and power, and it had chosen him. But not everyone in the galaxy was indifferent. Word of a rare, ancient alien ship began to spread. Raiders, scavengers, and mercenaries, all looking for advanced technology, started tracking signals from Astra's systems. Jace realized they had to move fast. The next encounter would be far more dangerous. A week later, the first real test arrived. Jace detected multiple ships approaching at high speed. Scanners identified them as part of a well-known scavenger fleet, veterans in hunting valuable alien technology. "This isn't good," Jace muttered, gripping the controls. Astra responded immediately, lights pulsing faster, engines thrumming as if preparing for combat. The scavengers opened fire. Energy blasts streaked across the void. Jace's hands moved instinctively, weaving between asteroids, dodging shots. But alone, he would have been destroyed. With Astra guiding him, they danced through danger, counters executed faster than human reflexes. The ship systems anticipated threats, opening panels that revealed hidden thrusters, activating shields that Jace hadn't even known existed. Every move, every decision was a collaboration between human creativity and alien precision. Jace shouted over the roaring engines, exhilarated. "This is amazing! You're incredible!" Astra's lights pulsed brighter, almost happily, as if it enjoyed the praise. After an intense chase, Jace managed a daring maneuver. Using a combination of the ship's advanced systems and his own piloting skills, he led the scavengers into a dense asteroid field. Their superior numbers were useless in the chaos. One by one, they retreated, unable to keep up. For the first time, Jace felt the thrill of victory, not for himself, but for what humans were capable of. Alone, he was fallible, weak, mocked. Together with Astra, he was unstoppable. That night, Jace sat in the cockpit, staring at the stars. The galaxy seemed both infinite and intimate. He spoke aloud, partly to himself, partly to the ship. "I never thought I'd feel like this again. I've failed so many times, but you make me feel human." Astra pulsed softly, almost reassuringly. Jace smiled, exhausted but alive. He realized that the bond between man and ship had grown stronger than he could have imagined. It wasn't just about survival. It was about understanding, trust, and mutual respect. He spent hours reviewing the alien logs, learning about Astra's history. It had been a command ship built to lead fleets but had experienced betrayal and abandonment. Now, in a twist of fate, it had found a human pilot, flawed, yet courageous, resilient, and ingenious. In the quiet of space, two beings from entirely different worlds were learning from each other. Jace adapted to the ship's instincts, improvising maneuvers and anticipating threats. Astra, in turn, learned to appreciate human creativity, quick thinking, and the indomitable will that had once defined Earth's pilots. Days passed, and the galaxy seemed to test them further. Strange anomalies appeared: gravitational distortions, rogue asteroids, and mysterious energy readings. Jace relied on Astra's advanced sensors, but it was his human intuition that saved them more than once. He adjusted flight paths on instinct, dodged debris no sensor could detect in time, and made split-second decisions that left even Astra seemingly impressed. It became clear: humans were not obsolete. Technology was powerful, but human courage, improvisation, and ingenuity were unparalleled. One night, as they rested near a distant moon, a faint signal appeared, different from the distress beacon, clearer and more urgent. Jace studied the readouts. It was a transmission from a civilization far older than any human settlement, a network of ancient ships communicating across light years. Astra pulsed in a rhythm Jace hadn't seen before. He realized the signal was not just a distress call, it was a summoning. Something or someone was reaching out and they were now part of the response. Jace felt a mixture of fear and excitement. "Looks like our adventure isn't over," he said, leaning back in his seat. "Not even close." The ship glowed softly, almost as if agreeing. Together they were ready. Human courage, ingenuity, and determination combined with alien intelligence had already overcome impossible odds. Whatever lay ahead, Jace knew one thing: humanity, even when mocked and broken, could rise again. And Astra, the ancient, sentient ship, would be his partner in that journey. Jace Arlen stared at the faint, pulsing signal on the navigation console. The mysterious transmission had been growing stronger, almost beckoning them. He didn't know who or what was sending it, but instinct told him it was important. Astra hummed quietly beneath him, lights flickering in a pattern he had learned to interpret: caution, readiness, anticipation. The vast emptiness of space stretched before them. Jace adjusted the controls, checking the alien systems he had come to trust. His hands moved with confidence now, every twist of a lever or press of a button coordinated perfectly with Astra's subtle guidance. He had learned the rhythms, the signals, the intelligence of the ship. Together they were more than human and machine, they were a team. "Whatever's out there," Jace said, voice steady, "we face it together." Astra pulsed, almost approvingly. As they approached the source of the signal, a massive, abandoned alien station came into view. Its structure was colossal, stretching kilometers across the void. Lights flickered along its surface, though many corridors were dark and silent. Energy readings surged erratically. The station looked abandoned, but there was something alive in its design, a presence that made Jace's pulse quicken. "This place feels alive," he whispered, "but I can't tell if it's dangerous or waiting." Astra responded with soft, rhythmic pulses. Its sensors scanned the station, mapping corridors, hidden chambers, and energy sources. Jace realized the ship was cautious, protective even, but ready to act. They docked carefully at one of the station's massive ports. The airlock hissed open, revealing a dark corridor lined with alien glyphs and glowing panels. Jace's pulse thrummed in rhythm with the ship's soft hum. They moved inside slowly, scanning for any threats. Suddenly, lights flared along the walls and a holographic form appeared, a projection of an ancient alien AI. Its voice was deep, melodic, and filled the corridor with resonance. "Who enters my domain?" Jace froze. I am Jace Arlen," he said cautiously. "I come with my ship, Astra. We received your signal." The hologram shifted, scanning him. "A human, and your vessel alive. This is unexpected." Jace swallowed. "We mean no harm, we just want to understand." The AI's form pulsed. "Then you must prove your worth." The station contains knowledge and power far beyond human or alien understanding, but only those capable of ingenuity, courage, and unity may claim it. Jace glanced at Astra. The ship's lights flickered in agreement, almost a gentle reassurance. Together they could face anything. The station immediately tested them. Massive doors blocked their path, energy barriers flickered on and off, and mechanical guardians, long dormant, sprang to life. Jace's heart pounded, but he moved instinctively, combining his human creativity with Astra's alien precision. When a guardian approached, Jace dodged its energy strikes while Astra projected countermeasures, disabling the mechanism before it could harm him. In another corridor, a puzzle of light and gravity shifted rapidly. Jace's hands flew over controls while Astra adjusted environmental systems, allowing them to pass unharmed. The station seemed to be observing, learning, testing them. Every success, every clever maneuver strengthened their bond. Jace realized something profound. This wasn't just about survival. It was a challenge designed to see if humans, even flawed and mocked, could rise to greatness. Hours passed in tense focus. Exhaustion pressed on Jace, but he refused to stop. Astra hummed rhythmically, its lights guiding him, subtly suggesting strategies but never overriding his decisions. It trusted him just as he trusted it. Finally, they reached the central chamber. A massive crystal floated in the air, pulsing with a strange energy. The holographic AI appeared again. "You have proven your worth. This crystal contains the knowledge of my civilization, navigation, energy manipulation, and technologies long lost to the stars. You may take what you can learn, but only with unity between human and vessel." Jay stepped closer, awed. We will honor it," he said. Astra's lights intensified almost proudly. Together they accessed the crystal. Streams of information flowed into Astra's systems and simultaneously reached Jace's neural interface. He felt knowledge entering his mind, understanding of technologies he had never imagined. For the first time, he saw the universe not as a place to survive, but as a realm to explore, conquer with intelligence, creativity, and daring. But just as they absorbed the crystal's secrets, a sudden tremor shook the station. Alarms blared. The old AI hologram flickered. "Warning, an ancient fleet approaches. They seek this knowledge and will destroy all intruders." Jace felt a thrill mixed with fear. He glanced at Astra. The ship pulsed brightly, ready. "We've faced worse," he said. "Let us show them what humans and ship together can do." They moved to the docking bay. Outside, dozens of sleek alien warships emerged from hyperspace, energy weapons charging. The fleet expected an easy target, a lone human in a supposedly broken vessel. They were wrong. Jace piloted Astra with unparalleled precision. Every movement, every twist of the ship, synchronized with Astra's intelligence. He exploited weak points in the enemy formations, darting between ships, using gravity wells, and deploying energy pulses that disrupted targeting systems. Astra responded instantly, opening hidden weapon arrays, projecting shields, and anticipating every attack. The combination of human intuition and alien intelligence created maneuvers no AI or human alone could accomplish. One by one, the attacking ships were disabled or forced to retreat. Jace laughed, exhilarated. "Take that and that," he shouted over the roar of engines. Astra pulsed in rhythm with his triumph, almost as if celebrating with him. After the battle, Jace floated in silence, staring at the scattered wreckage. He realized the truth. Humans were never weak. Even when mocked, dismissed, or abandoned, their courage, ingenuity, and ability to adapt made them capable of feats others couldn't imagine. Astra had amplified that, but it had been Jace's decisions, quick thinking, and daring that had won the day. The ship's lights flickered softly, a gentle acknowledgement. Jace placed a hand on the console. "We did it, together." Astra pulsed brighter, almost like a heartbeat. Jace smiled. He had been mocked, abandoned, and doubted. Now he had a partner, a sentient ship, and a renewed purpose. Days later, they returned to the fringes of human space. Word of Jace and Astra's exploits spread quickly. Colonists, pilots, and even former military comrades whispered in awe. The ex-pilot who tamed an ancient ship and survived the fleet of shadows. Jace didn't care about fame. He cared about the bond he had forged, the challenges he had overcome, and the knowledge he now carried. Humans could fail, but they could also rise, innovate, and surpass even the most advanced aliens when courage and ingenuity met opportunity. He looked at Astra, lights softly glowing. "We've only just begun, friend," he said. "There's a galaxy out there and we're going to see it all." Astra responded with a series of lights and vibrations that felt almost like laughter. Jace grinned. He was no longer a failed pilot. He was a human capable of incredible things, humanity personified in courage, creativity, and determination. The final moments of Part 3 saw them soaring beyond the fringe, stars stretching into streaks once again. The distant signal still pulsed faintly in the void, a reminder that the galaxy held more mysteries, more challenges, and more chances to prove what humans could do. And Jace Arlen, once mocked and abandoned, would meet them all not alone, but with Astra, the sentient alien ship that had chosen him and whom he had chosen in return. Together, they were unstoppable, a living testament to the enduring brilliance of humanity.